r/AskReddit, what's an inexpensive thing only rich people do /have? Lower interest rates on loans. Banks rush over to lend you money when you don't need it. Laughs in VA loan. Time. It's technically free but also the most expensive commodity in the world. Apart from printer ink. If you're poor you trade time for money, if you're rich you trade money for time. I'd say access to exclusive networking events or clubs where they can connect with like-minded individuals and gain insider knowledge or opportunities not available to the general public. This is a good one. I spend about $1,000 a year to be part of an executive club and I probably get $25, $100K plus of value out of it each year. Grey Poupon. But of course, I understood this reference. Trusts. Not that expensive to set up, but usually only the rich bother. A little floater on their boat keys. Depending on where you live, there's usually no point in setting up a trust unless your assets reach a certain level. I rarely recommend it for anyone unless they own more than one home or their total net worth crosses a certain tax threshold. Travel to virgin beaches. These are free to go and public. The catch is that it's extremely hard to get to them unless you go by boat or helicopter. Good example. I spend a lot of time on public islands in Maine on beaches no tourist will see just because it takes local access and knowledge, but I don't know if having a boat alone means you're rich now. Maybe it does, but lots of people around water have boats. I have a living trust now, but when I pass it will become a perpetual irrevocable trust to provide an annual income stream. It's set up to not deplete principal and to grow with inflation, to my kids and their kids. It's less than $6 million. I just didn't want my kids to go blow an inheritance on big ticket items. This provides something for them their entire life. Just my reason for setting up a trust. What is a living trust exactly? People sucking up to them and being extra nice to them all the time. It ain't real but it's free. It's also a terrible thing to get used to. Make bizarre bets with other rich people for $1. Pay up, Mortimer, I won the bet. Raya subscription, dating app that filters out for only rich people and celebs but subscription itself is cheap. Superhuman subscription, $30/mo email client, doesn't make sense to pay for unless you're on email all the time. Diptyque candles are expensive but a regular person could technically buy. Whole fridge stocked only with dozens of alkaline water bottles. Metformin if you don't have diabetes. Rich PPL think metformin makes you live longer and it's super cheap. Continuous glucose monitor if you don't have diabetes, don't ask. I'm asking. Why the glucose monitor? I have one of those, and don't own a boat. I know people who do. A good night's sleep. I hear you on that. ITT, expensive things. Peace of mind when the bills are due. Maybe a nice Chesterfield or an ottoman. A monkey? Haven't you always wanted a monkey? A green dress, but not a real green dress, that's cruel. Fencing. It's not an expensive sport. Any family middle income or higher can support their kids doing competitive fencing. But for whatever reason, it's disproportionately the rich who do it. It's a dying sport even among the rich. However, it has an incredibly rich history at America's oldest institutions. If you want your B+ student to have their pick of the Ivy League, get them into fencing young. I think it was Edison who said they would make electricity so cheap, only rich people will light candles. So, I'm going with basic candles for their fancy home dinners. Middle-class people would sooner buy scented ones. Think it was Tesla who had that ideology. Free sports tickets. I don't know if it's just connections or a little quid pro quo, but all the rich people I know or have known always had great sports tickets with great seats. And concert tickets now that I think about it. Only rich people light basic candles. Really? Who upvotes this crap? Cheap, comfortable, generic clothes? They're rich enough that they don't care about letting other people see how well off they are, as opposed to the people running around in gold Rolexes and brand of the month shoes. I just read where Mark Zuckerberg's famous gray t-shirt, which looks like the $7 special from Target, is actually $300 each. Shit like that. A business plan. Buy things in bulk. It's both the buying in bulk but also having the room to store all the things bought in bulk. I'm at the point in my life where I can. Kinda. Shop at Costco. I don't like dropping $30 on TP at a time, but it saves in the long run. That extra confidence. Getting free stuff because brands want them to be seen with it? Well, it's only inexpensive cause they are rich. This, 100%. They're usually using their company seats when they're not being used to entertain clients. The richer you get, the less you have to pay for perks like that. Time. Quiet. The subscriptions. My rich grandparents own every streaming site. Hulu, Paramount, Disney, Amazon, Netflix, Peacock, also a bunch of others. Plus cable. It's probably a couple hundred a month. I used to work at Comcast. Customers who had all the add-ons and were renting cable boxes for half a dozen TVs would be like, this is the price of a monthly car payment, and it took a measure of will not to reply exactly. What the fuck is wrong with you? My co-workers and I would discuss these people. Live in illegal maid. If you have the extra space, you can have an illegal do all your cooking and cleaning for around $25 a day. Live-in maids are surprisingly cheap. My neighbors pay around $100 per day I think for their au pair, and it's cheaper than daycare. Definitely don't need to be rich to have a boat. Very often, having a will. I'm pretty confident about that. It's not very expensive to get a will done. But I'd be willing to wager there's a direct correlation between wealth and having a will or not. Loans. The use of others' vacation homes that would Airbnb for 1,000s per night, tickets to events, free dinners, rides, flights. Just general perks. Post says inexpensive. Half of these are freaking expensive. Use their LLCs to avoid actually being held legally responsible for their decisions. Keep their cereals and stuff in fancy plastic containers instead of the boxes they come in. Not pay taxes. A housekeeper. Microtransactions on every app. Like getting rid of ads on every game they download even if they only play it for a day. Not to the rich people. /s. Sorry I don't speak poor. Dude, I seriously thought it said expensive not inexpensive lol. Hello everyone. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to humbly ask you to subscribe to the channel. According to my statistics, 100% of my viewers in the past 28 days are not subscribed. I have always wanted this channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and if you want to support and be a part of that, subscribe. It's free and it's an awesome way to support the channel. Thanks again, Reddit glitch out.